The kiss lasted only 3 seconds. But in those 3 seconds, I watched 12 years of my marriage disappear. The party was supposed to be harmless. Just couples, music, expensive drinks, and people pretending their lives were perfect. My wife, Claire, had been excited about it for weeks. "Tonight, just relax," she told me before we left. "No work. No stress. Just us." I believed her. That was my first mistake. We had been married for 12 years. I knew every little thing about her, the way she laughed when she was nervous, the way she touched her necklace when she was lying, and the way she looked at me when she was truly happy. Or at least, I thought I did. Around midnight, I noticed a man standing near the bar. I had never seen him before. He was confident, well-dressed, and strangely comfortable around my wife. At first, I assumed he was a friend of one of the other couples. Then he walked toward Claire. She saw him. And instead of looking surprised, she smiled. A slow, familiar smile. My stomach tightened. The man stopped in front of her and whispered something. Claire laughed. I stood across the room, watching. Then he leaned forward and kissed her. Not on the cheek. Not as a joke. He kissed my wife on the lips. And Claire kissed him back. Everything around me suddenly became silent. The music was still playing, people were still laughing. Glasses were still clinking, but I couldn't hear any of it. I just stared. Claire opened her eyes and saw me. For 1 second, her face changed. She looked scared. Then the stranger took her hand. "Claire," I said. She didn't answer. I walked toward them. "Claire, what is this?" The man looked at me calmly. Then he said something that broke whatever was left inside me. "She already chose." I looked at my wife. "Is that true?" Claire's eyes filled with tears. But she didn't come toward me. Instead, she squeezed his hand. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Then she walked out of the party with him. I didn't chase them. I couldn't. I stood there while everyone watched me become the husband whose wife had just left him in front of a room full of strangers. When I finally returned home, the house felt unfamiliar. Her shoes were still beside the door. Her favorite mug was sitting in the kitchen. A picture of us from our wedding day was hanging above the fireplace. I stared at it for a long time. Then I noticed something. The frame had been moved recently. Behind it was a small envelope. My name was written on it. My hand shook as I opened it. Inside was a letter. Claire had written it 3 weeks earlier. She had been planning to leave me. The man wasn't a stranger. His name was Daniel. They had been seeing each other for almost a year. The party wasn't where she met him. It was where she planned to leave me. The kiss wasn't an accident. It was a final announcement. I sat on the floor and read the letter again and again. The saddest part wasn't that she had fallen in love with someone else. It was that she had stayed beside me. For months while secretly planning the day she would destroy me. 3 days later, Claire came back for her things. She stood in the doorway, avoiding my eyes. "I never wanted to hurt you," she said. I almost laughed. "You didn't hurt me when you kissed him," I replied. "You hurt me every morning for a year when you looked me in the eyes and pretended everything was normal." She started crying. But this time, I didn't comfort her. She packed her clothes and walked toward the door. Before leaving, she stopped. "Did you ever love me?" I looked at the woman I had once promised to grow old with. "Yes," I said quietly. "That's why it hurt so much." She left. And I never saw her again. Months later, I took the wedding picture down. Not because I hated her. Because I finally understood something. Sometimes the person who breaks your heart isn't a stranger. Sometimes it's the person who knows exactly where your heart is and chooses to break it anyway.